Hello everyone, welcome. So ask like, is there any way to pop up the mouse? So basically, you can create a floating mesh. Basically, you can take the same mesh and use a tileable texture or alpha texture like this mouse on top of it. So it will look floating, and then you can have multiple layers like one, two, multiple like with more and then less and less. So that look a little bit fluffy. That's one. Second is like you can have small meshes here and there, but how you can do, you can normal transfer. Let me see if my blender is there. Let me show you in blender. Okay, so if, and the third method was again the shader, right? You can use parallax occlusion and other stuff, which again can get complicated, but I would say like because we have a like little bit stylized stuff, it will be okay to do it simply. So I will just take ecosphere to the, so a share smooth, and I can simply just move this elastic grab. I will take grab. Okay, just to have a little bit of, we can do it like with the normal noise thing also. That's fine. So imagine this is our rock, okay, with the slightly organic shape. Okay, so imagine this is our rock. Okay, we want to add moss on top. Okay, so which is pretty it's easy. So now, so if I, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just take these faces from top. Like imagine this, these are the faces where we want to add moss. We can have vertex group also, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just for now just duplicate this. So now we have ecosphere and this, right? If I put this place and just put slightly there, so it's a little bit up. I'll show you, you can do the same thing with this also. So we have this on top. You can add I'm gonna do, for simplicity, I'm gonna make it greenish, and on this let's add a new one and make it okay brownish. Okay, and here I can take noise texture. So you can take a proper texture also, and I'll put to alpha, not on this. Okay, so you can add this also to see how it is. So I can just, and then you can add some kind of like level it up. Maybe this is what we put it to alpha, and let's move this, and you have this kind of moss on top. This way and this, and when you will have this, and I would say you can have, and even on the material of this I can change the scale a little bit. So what's gonna happen, it's gonna kind of mimic the depth here, like as you see, it's gonna mimic some depth. So this is like a way one to do this, to get a fluffiness on top. Okay, so this is the one, because this is not proper textures, but with proper texture with the more circular thing, it looks really good. You can have multiple a tiny patches which you can project on top of the mesh. How you can do it, basically, if I show you, let me delete this. So if I have this, right, imagine, and I select this, and okay, it's like that. So it's not matching our rock at all. So what you can do, you can shrink wrap, you pick this, and this is now nearest point, you can say project, and it's a positive and negative. So now it's projected, and here you can offset it basically a bit above. So now you will see this is basically floating. So now you can have multiple meshes which are projected on top of each other but like floating basically, and then you can have another one which can be, to the other mesh, so it can be above the other layer. So that is also a way. So what I'm going to show you, I'll make it 0, is that fluffiness with the normal map, okay, which is another easy one. So I'm gonna, you can keep it also, and we put geometry nodes and create a new one, and I'll say distribute points on faces. So we have bunch of points, and we can increase the density. I really like the Poisson disk because you can define how much you want. Okay. The minimum on sorry, the minimum distance I want, like imagine like 1 centimeter with each point, and then you can increase. So for now it don't seem much, but if I make it 5, you will see like most of them, and then even if you increase it, they will be like distributed evenly basically around. So this I really like to use this feature. So imagine now we have these points, and what we can do, we can create something like create a plane, and when I would subdivide. Okay, so this is gonna be our most just something, okay, nothing too much to think about. I So I keep the here, scale 0.1, let's make it small, scale and rotation applied. So now we can select our this thing, and we say instance on points here, and we take the plane mesh, and we put a symmetry on instance. So we got something, right? So it's already looking like something. So now we have done this many times, so we'll take random value. Okay. So we need two, one for rotation and one for, we can take it, one is vector. So we just say okay, -1 to +1, and this we can say 0.1, maybe -0.1, so it don't go in other way. So this go to rotation, so they rotate basically, right? And then this one we can give it 0.5 to 1, and we put it into scale. So we have a random scale. Okay. And we can increase this if we want, 0.5 -0.25. So they randomly go. Now you still see like this some mesh we got, and we can assign the same material here, select, and we put, so you see we have something in here, but it still don't look that fluffy. So what I mean by this normal transfer is, now you can shift the transfer on top. Like imagine I will take this one and duplicate this, and I can say equal normal, okay, and I'm gonna put displace, okay, that it's a little bit bigger, okay. So I'm hide it, and just we can apply this also in here. Now you select this, and you say attribute transfer. Attribute, is it attribute? It is wait, let me remember. It should be not physics, not normal. It should be edit, uh data transfer. Okay, and data transfer you can select normal, right? And then you can say from here, so if we and source is this vertex data is vertex group, bevel weight is not, we have, it's not, I don't think is, do we need a data layer? This have a lot more options than before. This used to be a lot less. Let me see. Edit is zero transfer only. What is this? Your vertex weight. Yeah, it should be this one. So basically, what we do in this is, if we take the normal from that mesh and put it on top of our this thing, and it used to work normally simply without any. So now we have to. This is also cool. We can do a lot more things now. Sharp crystal face. Yes, and it's because I don't know. So this is basically used to be much more simple. We can check it in the previous version. Okay, sure. So basically, what it does is basically make the mesh smoother. Basically. So do we need to create a vertex group? I can create. That's not an issue. And it could be because the geometry node might not work. So we might have to apply this also. Okay, so this is, we have to realize the thing. But yeah, so this is basically I can show you later on also. But this is how we transfer the basically normal data on top of it. I can check in the older version. Let me see it in 4.2 how it is. Let's take it. So if we go here and we see mesh monkey and we have ecosphere, turn it off, and if I look at it, still have it. So am I doing something wrong? I think I am normal. It's normal edit. Wait. Okay. So let's do normals edit, and then if we pick this, and it should work. So what we can do in our geometry node, we say okay, realize instances. Okay. So now you see we have much more smoother normals. Okay. And if I show you here, see, so it will look much fluffier here. See, so on our right, okay, it will look much more fluffier. And if you feel like, oh, this is too much, what you can reduce it, okay, to something your wish. So like it have a little bit of old normals, and then it have this fluffiness also. It's all up to you. So then you can transfer this mesh to Unreal. I'm sure it might be possible to do it in Unreal also, but it's like a lot of technical stuff and mathematics. I don't want to get into it, but this is basically something you can do easily in here. So like if I go here and you feel like, yeah, you want, a variation, you can, increase 1.5, and you have larger mesh and smaller mesh in here. And if you want to change something in the geometry, which is here, if you're like, oh, this is too much corner, so I can select the corner. That's it. can bevel it up, right? So it will usually reflect in there. So now you have, and also you can take the I think in object info, mesh info. I don't know which, like image object info we have already. So we have rotation. Will that work directly? Basically, what happens, you can take normal and you can compare it, and then you can transfer it to the normal of the object. Let's say normal, and we can try what does true. And there's another like similar to thing, but you can simply get something fluffiness. So this is basically a little bit a long video for a small thing, but you can do multiple stuff with that. So yeah, so as you can make want to make fluffiness, this is a best way to make it. Like you're gonna transfer normals basically.